Good morning, West Texans. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish where I'm Ryan High. This is 60 seconds, more or less, of Raiderland, our commentary. The other day, I heard some people asking, how did the Big 12 get so good at basketball? When did they become the best conference in America? When did the Big East of the 1980s show up in the heartland of America over the last decade or so? And it's really pretty simple, even though it took a little while to unfold. And here's how the Big 12 got so good at basketball. About three main things. Really four if you want to get into it. One, Kansas. That's right. Kansas ruled the roost. They showed up in the Big 12 ready to be national contenders. So everybody else had to follow Kansas. You had to chase Kansas. If you wanted to have a chance to win a Big 12 title, you eventually realized you had to beat Kansas. Well, in beating Kansas, you automatically become a premier national team. That's just the way it works. It reminds me of the Lady Raiders in the early 90s chasing Texas, and in chasing Texas, they caught a national championship. So that's part of it. You had to match Kansas. The schools were willing to do that. And this is kind of A and B and C all rolled into one. Coaches were the next key. Boy, this league has had some great head coaches over the last 10 years. Almost every school has made a commitment to go out and get some legendary Hall of Fame coaches at different times, some ascending, some plateauing, some descent, but they still made the commitment. Now, that gets us to commitment with the coaches. They've spent money on college basketball in the Big 12 over the last decade plus. Schools that you might normally think of as a football school or maybe not a lot of money, they poured it into facilities, they poured it into coaching staffs, they poured it into recruiting like very few conferences around the country do. There are some individual schools and conferences, but not conferences that are doing it the way the Big 12 is doing it. Again, if you want to compete in the Big 12, that means you're going to be a great team. That goes in with the facilities as well. Look at all the arenas for the most part. Look at the practice facilities that I've seen grow over the last 15 years in covering the league. It's impressive, and it's hard to find anything like it around the country. The rest of the country over the last few years just really now waking up to what the Big 12 has been doing. So how did the Big 12 get good? Kansas, coaches, commitment, dollars, and facilities. We'll see you tonight on the daily broadcast. 6:30ish live on YouTube, on Facebook Live, and on Twitter.